We're back. It's Inside Tennessee. All right, one more thought to finish our discussion about the whole abortion legislation, which is now pending. And that is, and we were talking off camera about this too, I think it was this past week, our state AG has warned at least some of you all that, hey, the law that exists now is unconstitutional. I can look over the horizon at Idaho and see a federal judge has already said it's problematic. You all really do need to do something. Is that correct?
If we want to stop what we define as a criminal abortion, these are the abortion clinics, we need this bill. As I said earlier, this bill is the strongest pro-life, anti-abortion bill ever brought before the state legislature. And our Attorney General has said that with this bill, he'll be able to charge, prosecute, and convict physicians that are performing criminal abortions.
There are hurdles. Okay, let's switch topics. We want to talk to Senator Massey about an enormous bill it's one of the governor's pet projects. You alluded to that at the start. You're the head of the Transportation Committee, and it has to deal with sort of the future of transportation. It's a little complicated, but can you give us some of the highlights, please?
Well, the first highlight is there are $26 billion in identified road projects that we need to do in Tennessee to address our congestion and our modernization of our roads. We have, by the time we take out the gas tax to take care of safety issues, we have maybe $500, $600 million a year that we could use in expansion projects.
Not a lot, really.
So at that rate, just doing a basic math, that would be 52 years that it would take us to address all those projects. That's unacceptable. So we're going to have to look outside the box. So that's the governor and Commissioner Ely and others have done their research. They've looked at other states that, that we like the way they operate, fiscally responsible and things like that. And Texas was one of the models that we've really looked at. And we've come up with this bill, and it's a big bill. It's huge. It's $3.3 billion fiscal note. But there's some major parts to it. One, it sets up a public-private partnerships that we can do. 34 other states have the ability to do public-private partnerships. We do not have the ability without passing this bill. So we would look at public-private partnerships that would come in and develop some road expansions in our urban areas, like choice lanes, which choice lanes are very similar to TSA pre-check. And so the lanes that are free now will stay free, but this choice lane, like they do in Florida and in Georgia and Texas, would be optional based on your return on your investment cost-benefit ratio. And it's based on how much traffic is going. It's managed lanes. The pricing kind of goes up when there's more traffic because they guarantee pretty much 50 miles per hour in the choice lanes. It also reduces the traffic by about 30% in the free lanes or the general purpose lanes. So that's one piece of it. That we're putting $3 billion into that portion of it. So if the choice lane, the public partner, the project costs $500 million, let's just say, the partner would invest $400 million. Tennessee may invest $100 million, however we develop the contract, and then they would finance, they would build, they would operate, and they would maintain those roads on a lease. They would never own our roads. Tennessee would always own our roads, but they would operate it and invest in it. Then we'll take that same $400 million and put it into another project, say in an urban area or possibly a suburban area, to do another project that we wouldn't get to if we don't do something like that. So leveraging the dollars. We're looking at the alternative build models. So now when you build a road, it's step 1, then step 2, then step 3, and it takes 15 years. So this alternative, they kind of stair-step them. And this will allow more of the alternative build models so they can get a project. From the time the governor would sign this bill, we could look at a choice project within 8 years, 7-8 years.
That's pretty quick.
Becky, if I understand right, there's also some federal money available to our state to help with some of the infrastructure that might piggyback or tie to some of the things that you're working with the governor on?
Are you talking about the Infrastructure
Yes.
Act? basically, the main...
I know they're not wholly related, but there's a synergy there.
Well, we did get a little bit more money from that, but not kind of what it was made out to be.
Right.
The best part about it, before we'd only get our funds in the reauthorization once a year. This guarantees it for 5 years, but it was only about $50 million per TDOT region, and we have 4 extra a year, and most of that's been eaten up by inflation.
Right.
So not significant amount, but we take anything we can get, and
Well,
we work toward it.
Unless it was healthcare money, but we can talk about that another day. But
Well-
but the money, these huge numbers that we're talking about, this isn't a 1 year thing. This is spread out over time.
This will be spread out, and the good thing is it's not put in the same exact fund as the road fund, the highway fund money. It's going to be in a modernization fund, and it rolls over. What's not spent each year stays there, and of course the treasurer will invest it, so we will get some return on that money. We also will be looking at set up a modernization board, and there's $300 million extra for the county road projects that will go to every county in Tennessee, and that's 15 times what they normally get put in there annually. And then we're also going to be raising the electric vehicle fee to a parity based on both the state tax and the federal tax, but it's going to be gradual. It'll go to $200 the first year, and then in year 4 it'll go to $274, and there's some caps and some prerequisites in that, so it's not totally, they take that into consideration. But it's an exciting bill. It passed through my Transportation Committee this week. It passed through the House Transportation Committee, and next it'll go to the Finance Committees and then to the floor for a vote.
So
it's
your
exciting.
chairman, does Knoxville get the first choice lane?
Well, if you base it on which has the highest daily traffic,
It does.
average days traffic count, Knoxville is,
Yeah.
we have about 1,000 more. If you take the top ones and average them, we're about 1,000 more cars a day than Nashville is.
Well, I know we had to break, but that did work for a family member of yours in our airport. I remember with some federal dollars a while back. So,
Well, I'll
We're
be
counting on it.
advocating, but I have to advocate for the whole state too.
Drivers are watching us going, yes, 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 please. Okay, it is time for a break. You're watching Inside Tennessee. Get you another cup of coffee. We're back soon.
Yeah, when